Right, so we're going to have a look now at exercise 5.2, and this is essentially an exercise in editing something that you already have. So kind of to reinforce the idea that with SketchUp you can make edits to your product, especially if you've made everything as a separate component, as you should. And that if you do have to make changes along the way, as you often do, then you do not have to start from scratch, or at least not in 99.9% of cases. So in this case, let's have a quick look at what we have to change. By flipping across to the booklet, you can see the first thing we have to do is not change the height, but we have to change the width to 1300, which of course, since it's 1100 to start with, means we have to add 200. So let's give that a try. And I'm going to do that by just selecting this component here, my side panel, and just zoom in on it a little bit. I'm going to take my move tool, snap onto this corner here, and drag it along, and you can see if I stop, it tells me I'm on the red axis, which means I'm moving perfectly horizontally, which is important, of course, because I need to be accurate. And in the interest of being accurate, of course, I also want to move it by exactly 200, which means I'm going to type that distance, hit the enter key, and then I have that piece moved the exact distance it needs to be moved, which will be then my reference for all the other moves I make. So in terms of the other moves I make, the first thing I'm going to do is extend this piece, and I'm going to go by double clicking it into edit mode. And a lot of people in a case like this make the mistake of choosing the push-pull tool, but all that's going to do is this, because that surface is at an angle. So that's clearly not what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is instead take the move tool, and I'm going to select just that surface and move this surface across to here, which means then that the rest of the object extends to follow the surface that I'm moving, as you can see happening here. Now I don't need to worry too much now about it being in the red axis, because what I'm going to do is snap that corner onto there, and because I moved the previous piece very accurately, by snapping onto there I now know that I've moved this one equally accurately. Okay, click to the side to get out of editing mode, and then if I zoom out, you can see that the bottom panel has done the same thing, except in the opposite direction, and that's because I flipped it over when I was making the bottom panel, because I copied my initial work making the top panel. So all I'm going to do is move the entire panel with my move tool, picking it up by that corner, and I'm using that corner. I could use this corner as well, but I need a corner that I can snap onto the existing piece to ensure that it's 100% accurate. And now if I zoom out, you can see that the main parts of the top of my product are now in the correct sizes, except for this back panel here, which now needs, of course, also to be extended by 200. So 1, 2, 3, which gets into edit mode. Take my push-pull tool, zoom in because it's quite a small surface. Click on the surface to select it and move it by type, and then type 200 to make sure that I push-pull it to the exact correct distance. And there you go, that's the top done. We'll look at the rest of it in another video.